This is the key takeaway, everyone, from the studies. Rinsing underwater for at least 30 seconds significantly reduce surface pesticides residues across most vegetables tested. So that's the takeaway. 30 seconds. Take a clock, click on 30 seconds. And that might be the best 30 seconds you spend every day on your health. And then if you wanted to soak your vegetables in mild baking soda solution, about 1 teaspoon or 2 cups water for 12 to 15 minutes, they're probably a bit more effective on getting rid of stubborn pesticides. And then leafy greens benefited from gently kind of agitating them in water, while produce with smooth skins like apple saw high removal rates just from rinsing. So use that as a really great takeaway for today's episode. Whether you're buying organic, non-organic, make sure you wash them. And make sure you do the research on specific types of fruits and vegetables, nuts, seeds, tea that you eat or drink every day, because it's really up to you to kind of fact check these farmers on and the brands that are paying these farmers to farm, that they're actually using pesticides that are legal and that have less deleterious effects on human health. And invariably, every few years, there's a big company that violates the standard and gets sued. But, money doesn't buy years back from your life most of the time, right? So it's our responsibility to take care of our health. Again, let's do a little bit more research on what's good for us. Organic is definitely better, but I don't buy organic all the time. Sometimes I just can't pull the trigger on the $10 organic set of berries. It just doesn't make any sense to me. So I'll just clean it better. For me, that's what I'll do. What is the deleterious effects of pesticides on us and our children? And what exactly are pesticides? There's a professor named Dr. Brenda Eskenazi out of Berkeley, California, and she's been studying the effects of a specific type of pesticides called organophosphates on actually humans. And organophosphates was used to actually disrupt the nervous system of insects so that it would destroy their abilities to actually harm the produce. Subsequently, if you don't remove the pesticides from the produce you eat, there could be some effect of that pesticide getting into your body, especially in children. And what Dr. Brenda Eskenazi found out was there was correlation between the amount of pesticides she found in a farming community, their offspring, and their IQ. So needless to say that the more pesticides they found inside the body of the mother, and that translated into the body of the child, that child's IQ actually decreased. And in many cases, it was material. So I put the study in the show notes, but basically her team found that higher exposure to organophosphates during pregnancy was associated with lower IQ and memory scores in children's years later. And what they did was they actually were able to store a lot of the samples from this community over many generations. And I believe they're on the 3rd generation now. And that ability to constantly test for what the effects of these pesticides are on a longitudinal basis is quite fascinating. The other anecdotal evidence here to note and I'm going to just kind of make that assumption here, and you guys can take it with a grain of salt, is if we eat too much pesticides and we continue to not wash our fruits, or we don't wash it correctly, or we don't wash our produce correctly, then what are the potential side effects that can have on our health? Well, one of the things that might present danger to us on a longitudinal basis, one of the issues that present to us on a longitudinal basis could be memory, because if you're thinking about something that affects the nervous system, something that affects memory, which is what a organophosphate does, then invariably, as that chemical compounds in our body over decades, that may play a role in our memory. So that's all pretty depressing. One thing that, if you want to dig deeper in on Dr. Brenda Eskenazi's study, Viva Longevity has a great podcast on this, where they actually interviewed Dr. Brenda, and she highlights the need for funding to continue the freezing of these samples so they can continue to study them over time. So pesticides, problem. What's the solution? Well, cleaning them off. So I hope all of you find this podcast useful. Thanks so much.